test that I'm going to speak about this morning is not something that we go through as a result of our error or us getting out of the will of God. I'm not talking about that. But while we're there, do understand, even when we err and get ourselves into trouble, the best thing to do when you err is to turn or repent and know that God is full of mercy. Know about him that he is compassionate, and when you cry out to him, even though difficult is your fault, he'll send you some help. Oh, I wish I had about 20 folk that would just give God a praise, because you messed up time and time again. You've cried out for some mercy and God sent you some help. Some of us, God sent help so that we didn't have to go through as bad as we thought we would, because we cried out for some mercy and God sent you some help. Come on, somebody. You ought to give him a praise, because you ain't dotted every I. You certainly hadn't crossed every T, but you knew how to turn to God. You knew how to ask mercy of him when you messed up. Come on, somebody. That's one thing I've learned to do. When I mess up, I go to God for some help. I plead for his mercy. Why? Because I know he's full of mercy. And often, even when we err, if we be honest, we know that it's not going to be the last time we err. Why? Because we're imperfect. And so never run from your mistakes. Never hide from your errors. Go to God knowing that he's merciful. Go to him knowing you're not the only one that messed up. Go to him knowing that he has help in reserve for you. And not only will God help you, but I found out he'll cause you to recover things that you might have lost as a result of your error. Yeah, he did it in my life plenty of times. And God will do it to the point to where people won't even know you messed up. They won't even know the mess you got yourself in, because the quicker you are to repent, the faster he can go ahead and bring you on out of what you messed up in the first place. Somebody say, Pastor, you already preaching to me. Yeah, God will deliver like no other. God will bring you out like no other. Am I right? Never run from God. When you're in the wrong, run to him. Don't pull an Adam on God. Don't think you can hide from God. Don't you try to cover your own mistake. Let God help you. Am I right? And he'll help you, child of God. He'll help you. Am I right about it? Some of us sitting there like, Pastor, I know he'll help you. How many times will he help a person, Pastor? I done lost count. And some of you have too. He's helped you more than 2 times. Come on, you messed up more than 5 times. Some of us in our 20s as far as messing up. And some of us done messed up so many times we just stopped keeping count. We just learned about him, that he's merciful. We get up and we strive not to do the thing that got us in trouble in the first place. Am I right? For a just man will fall 7 times, but he'll what? Get back up. You got to know how to get up. Am I right? You got to know how to get up. But when I taught Tess this morning, I want all of us on one accord that I'm saying we have an error. We haven't did anything wrong. But it's what God is permitting to enter into our lives. And if we're going to be who he's ordained for us to be, then we have to deal with the test. We have to go through the test. I like to say it like this. We have to pass the test. Got to pass the test. Am I right? Let me give you 3 definitions that I want you to receive of a test. Number 1, a test is a challenging time. A test represents a time of great challenge. A time of great challenge. And sometimes when you're being challenged, you can find yourself in a challenging time, not just in reference to one area of your life, but sometimes it's as if you're in a combo. There is several things that are happening to you that's challenging. dealing with challenges on the job. But it's not as simple as it used to be. You clock out, you let it go. Because even when you clock out and you let the challenges go that are on the job, you are yet going through some challenges right at the house that you live in. You're going through challenges in your home. Some of us, we are going through challenges when it comes to things that are taking place within our bodies. And then we are going through challenges as it relates to the times that we find ourselves living in. A time where so many have abandoned living by faith and they're simply living by common sense, or they're leaning to their own understanding. And how many know it's easy during challenging times to make the mistake of leaning to your own understanding? That's the reason Solomon said that we shouldn't lean to our own understanding, but in all of our ways we should acknowledge him, our God, and allow him to direct our paths. I come to say to somebody this morning that you are going through some challenging time, but don't lean to your own understanding. Don't mess yourself up, because I want to say to you that trouble and tests have a way of playing tricks on our mind. I wonder, has anybody ever been through a challenge and you let the challenge play tricks on your mind? A challenge can cause you to see what is really not there. A challenge can cause you to feel in a way that you have no business to. Am I just preaching to myself this morning, or do I have some witnesses that trouble will play tricks on your mind? Trouble will make you hear stuff that you really didn't hear. Am I right about it? It'll have you trying to figure out something that's past your level of intelligence, and there is some things that are just too high for us. Come on, somebody. I said there are things that are just too high for us. But trouble will play tricks upon the mind during challenging times. A test is also a period where trouble is testing your ability to trust God. It's a period where trouble, difficulties are testing your ability to trust God. And sometimes it's testing your ability to trust him in reference to waiting for him to tell you what to do. Waiting for him to tell you how to handle a problem. Not getting into self, but wanting to do things the way he wants you to do it. I don't want to just handle it. I don't want to just deal with it, but I want to handle it. I want to deal with it the way you have prescribed through your word that I should deal with it. Come on. Because again, it's going to test your ability to trust God. And sometimes the very things that we profess, the very things that we confess with our mouth is going to be tested. Going to be tested. Lord, I will serve you no matter what. No matter what. Lord, I'm going to give you the praise no matter what. Come on, that's been some of our profession. That's been the thing that came out of our mouth. I don't care what I go through, Lord. I'm going to give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. I'm going to thank you for what you've done, doing, and going to do. But see, something is coming in the form of a test, and it's going to try your words. Lord, I know you can do anything, say, fail. Something gonna try your words. Lord, I'll never quit. I'll never give up. I'll never give in. I'll never back down. Something. Whoa. I wish somebody shout something. Is gonna try your words. Shout something. Don't know what it is, but something, somehow, a test is going to try your words. Don't you know what you say to others? I said, don't you know what you say to others in reference to encouraging them? Has a way of boomeranging. That's what I like to call it. It'll come back. You done told somebody, look, crying ain't gonna help you. You might well just give God. Well, why you crying over what you going through? Just be strong, sister. Now you're going through something that requires you to be strong. How many of you ever gave somebody some advice that later on, just be honest, you recognize you wasn't even following your own words. You wasn't even. Some folks ain't raising their hand. I'm looking at you. There folks didn't raise their hand when I said that. I'm looking at you too. You ain't ever said nothing to nobody. That later on, the very thing, the message you preached. I said the message you preached. You didn't need a title. You were preaching to that person. And now you're not even doing what you preached. Because see, at some point, all of our ability to trust God is going to be put to the test. All of our ability to trust God is going to be put to the test. All of our ability to trust God is going to be put to the test.